what's up fam? Tommy with Studio Sense here. We are going to announce right now the 2 winners of the 3 ml bottles of Forever Wanted Elixir. I pulled 2 people's names. Actually, YouTube random comment picker did, and the first name is Nehemiah Rivera. I'm assuming that's what your name is since that's the last part of your email address. And the second winner that was pulled, and I'll show you how I did it, is MyTube82X. If I'm slaughtering your names out there, sorry about that. You won. Congratulations on winning Forever Wanted Elixir, the 3 ml bottles. If you send me your details to the email address that's showing up down below, studiosense@gmail.com, all lowercase, all jammed together, I will send you your fragrance. So just shoot me your deets, your address, where you want it shipped to, and I'll get that out to you within the next 24, 48 hours. All right, now that the contest giveaway is done, the winners have been announced, let's move on to the content of today's video. You've heard the saying that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. What does that mean? Well, apples are really good for you. They're great for your health, great for your digestion. Fruit has been one of those long-standing items that have been used in men's fragrance. This is, of course, a lemon. This is I think it's an avocado lime. Anyway, a little banana here. My favorite fruit to eat on the go, and that is cherries. So not only do we love fruit, but it's also used to great effect in fragrance. And in particular, the note of apple is a very fresh, fruity, summertime, wonderful summertime note in fragrance if done well. Today we're going to be talking about an apple a day cologne or an apple a day fragrance, or those fragrances that feature the note of apple. I've got that and more coming up right after this. Welcome back, friends, to An Apple a Day Keeps everybody coming up to you and saying, what are you wearing? That smells great. Because we're talking about the note of apple as it appears in men's fragrance. Even if it's a synthetic apple, just like the smell of a grape crush. I love that grape smell. It's not real, it's a fantasy note, it's synthetic, but man, does it smell good when it's done right. Same thing with the apple note. So we're going to talk about 10 fragrances that feature the note of apple that are extremely affordable and fantastic to wear during the summertime. Today it's going to be in the 80s, perfect weather for the kind of fragrances that we're talking about. The first fragrance that I would be remiss if I didn't mention, but I have talked about it quite a bit recently, is one by Yves Saint Laurent, and it is Y Eau de Parfum. I feel like I've talked about Y a lot here lately, but for good reason, especially during the summertime. It's one of the best go-to kind of quick grab staples that many men enjoy wearing, and for good reason. It is one of the best fruity, crunchy apple amplified by ginger kind of fragrances out there. And the cool thing is, just the notes in the open alone make for a great fragrance. You've got your fruits, you've got your spicy, you've got your resins, there's elemi, but it's not just that. There's so much more going on in this fragrance that subsidizes the heart and the base. Woody aromatic, vetiver, incense, tonka, and it's grounded or tethered by 2 different resins, frankincense in the base, elemi in the open. So it's kind of bookended by resins, and that's why, if you're wondering, you've ever smelled this and you're like, why is that so good? Primarily though, that apple note, guys. Fantastic. Some people call it synthetic, but I really love it, synthetic or not. We can throw that word around and try to define it, but who cares? If you smell something and you like it and it smells good, and Y is one of the best kind of apple-oriented fragrances available. Next up, guys, is a fragrance that's 25 years old. Hello, celebrating its birthday today. Not really, but we're gonna say it is. Dunhill Desire Red. 25 years ago, this was launched and created. Apple surrounded by neroli, bergamot, there's teakwood, there's rose, ton of really cool osmanthus, ton of cool notes in this, but you get that brisk apple open. This is the apple that is wandering with a kind of swagger into the territory of seductive and romantic. It uses that fresh, fruity apple to kick off a softly seductive homage to shadow produced by the combination of labdanum and vanilla. It puts this well within the realm of the romantic must-own, date night, must-own kind of fragrance. Even as it's still available 25 years later, it's very inexpensive. Another fantastic apple-centric fragrance that's very affordable is one by Lacoste. It's Lacoste Style in Play. Don't let the look of the bottle put you off, the presentation prevent you from trying out the fragrance, because it's very, very good. You know, they say that voting doesn't count for everything and opinions, everyone has one, but they can give you some good information, some good feedback. Having said that, the rating for style and play on Fragrantica is like 4 point something, over 4 points out of 5, meaning that almost 1,600 people, because that's how many people that voted on this, think this is an excellent fragrance, and I happen to agree with them. Green apple, pine, cedar, jasmine, vetiver. Again, ratings can't tell you everything, but they can tell you something, and they should tell you, and I'm telling you that this is very much worth wearing if you like that kind of green apple, fresh, almost Jolly Rancher kind of smell. People chase that Jolly Rancher smell in fragrance. This is almost there, but not quite. But that's a good thing. You don't want to smell like candy necessarily, otherwise get Prada candy. This is more of a fresh, masculine, fruity apple smell and aroma. One of my favorite apple-oriented, almost said apple orchard fragrances, basically, is actually one from Hugo Boss in the, you know exactly what I'm going for, Boss Bottled, often referred to as Boss number 6. This is the original Boss Bottled Eau de Toilette. In terms of age, this actually beats out Dunhill Desire by 2 years. This is 27 years old. Can you imagine this fragrance 27 years old? You probably have some friends that are 27 years old. This is a classic fragrance for a reason. This spicy zeitgeist also has a little bit of a darker side, and that's why I love this, is it's just a bit more of a spicier, darker side of a summertime fragrance, and yet it's still something that's perfect to wear during summer. When you think of Boss Bottled, it should be synonymous with apple, because this is the note that binds all of the Boss Bottled fragrances. Pretty much 90% of them have a note of apple. I think Boss Bottled Marine does a good kind of a frozen apple effect, but this I think is the best representation of apple out of all of them, which is no doubt why it's such a long-standing staple on many men's dressers and in many men's armoires. Another apple orchard or apple-centric fragrance that I really enjoy, I actually bought the same day that I bought this bad boy. And I've had this for a very long time. Now, if you can't see it, it says Kenneth Cole Reaction, and it goes hand in hand with the fragrance Kenneth Cole Reaction. One of the better cheapie fragrances that is apple specific. And again, a little bit closer to the Jolly Rancher Green Apple Fantasy note. This one is grapefruit, apple, mandarin, watermelon, sandalwood, watermelon. Yes, this is more of a apple watermelon fragrance. In a way, Kenneth Cole Reaction kind of reminds me of this Lacoste fragrance. I don't have a lid because this is a tester. Both of them contain the note of watermelon, and you don't see watermelon in fragrance a lot because it is a fantasy note, but it's usually used in blended fragrances, and that's what this is. So it's subsidized by an apple, kind of a fresh, almost aquatic melon sensibility, which makes this a fantastic fragrance to wear during hot weather. So this is a great high heat fragrance, and very inexpensive, and also still around. So far we've been focusing on apple specific fragrances that you can wear during the day, during summertime, with the exception of maybe Dunhill Desire. That's more of a kind of a nighttime, but you can still wear it during the day. But the fragrances that we're going to talk about from now on, the next 5 that we're talking about, are apple specific fragrances that are perfect for that seductive, come hither, come closer, spend more time with me in an intimate kind of setting fragrance. And the first one that I want to feature and recommend if you like apple is Valentino Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. This fragrance contains one of the most prominent red apple notes to fill your olfactive spaces, and deliciously blended with tobacco and supported by other notes like lavender and cardamom. Richly intense and emblematic of a date night herald, it has that Valentino tenuous tandem of familiarity and intimacy all at once, like the sudden memory of your first childhood love. It hits you like that, and I wouldn't recommend it if it didn't, and specifically if you like the note of apple. Another date night wonder featuring apple, yet does it in a more warm and spicy way similar to Boss Bottled, is Authentic Night by Abercrombie & Fitch. Similar to how the duo of apple and tobacco, which are featured in Coral Fantasy, there is a duo of apple and rhubarb in this that will kick your senses into high gear. There's also lotus, tonka, vanilla, lavender. There's also a bit of ambroxan and leather, which makes it a tremendously sexy, spicy sorbet. Authentic Night by Abercrombie & Fitch. I feel like I haven't talked about a diesel fragrance in a while, and I'm really happy to be featuring this one. It is Diesel Spirit of the Brave instead of only the Brave. Specifically, Spirit of the Brave Intense has been overlooked. It's an underrated gem in my book. Spirit of the Brave Intense features apple, sage, cypress, vanilla, and amber. It's another sweet and seductive fragrance for your date night rotation, yet still versatile enough to wear every single day. Not like a heavy oriental fragrance at all. This is on the lighter side, and that's why it's perfect for summertime wear. It amps up the versatility. Plus, guys, it's an incredible bargain. You can get a full bottle for right around $23, $24 right now. Of course, I've got this as well as everything we're talking about today listed down here below if you want to check them out. Another apple-centric fragrance that is kind of similar to Spirit of the Brave Intense, and yet it does its own thing in a way that only Giorgio Armani fragrances can, is Armani Code Absolu. This is one of those fragrances that you're really thankful is still around and that you have in your rotation when you wear it. It is a compliment puller. It is mass appealing. It's very long lasting. The performance is aces. And if you like a little bit more of a gold or sparklier or fizzy version of it, then you can go for the Absolu Gold. That's perfectly fine, but this is the OG in my book. Code Absolu highlights a bit of a heavier representation of playful fruity into something that's a bit more somber and a bit more thoughtful. A thoughtful repose of spicy fruity with more of a focus on the tonka, the suede, the vanilla, and the nutmeg. And then you get into the apple, mandarin, bergamot, fruity side. Overlaying the spicy is that ever-present fresh apple note, and few do it better than Giorgio Armani in Armani Code Absolu. The last apple orchard or apple-centric fragrance that I want to feature is actually one by Paco Rabanne, and doesn't really need much of an introduction. It is 1 Million Elixir. Now, this is an oriental spicy fragrance that most people will tell you only wear it in cold weather. You don't want to wear it in high heat. I agree, you don't want to wear it in high heat. But there's nothing that says you can't wear this on a soft summer day. And I'm talking about mid-70s, something like that. Not the kind of weather that when you walk outside, you're immediately doused in your own sweat. Just like a 70 degree or 75 degree kind of day. This you can wear all day long. The reason for that is that super fresh apple, Davana, vanilla combination. Almost a gourmand dessert, fresh dessert side to it, attributable to the apple and the vanilla. There's a lot more going on in this fragrance than you might first assume other than the fresh apple. There's also like a rose and tonka. There are many sides, facets, or aspects to this fragrance that can recommend it, but none more than that fresh apple and Davana combination. And that's why I recommend 1 Million Elixir if you like the note of apple. Well, guys, that's a wrap on today's video. The fragrances that feature the note of apple. Tomorrow we'll be doing a similar video, but it's going to be apple blended. Those that use the note of apple in more of a the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few kind of way. Meaning it's in a blend, and so the apple note's not the main focus, still makes it a fantastic, fruity summertime wear. So we've got 10 more to talk about tomorrow. I hope you'll tune into that, but I really appreciate your attention today, stopping by and checking out today's video. If you happen to own any or all of these fragrances, please share down below what your favorites are with everyone and why you like to wear them. Or if there are other fragrances, and there are many, that feature the note of apple that I left out of this list, let everyone know what those are as well. My primary focus here were fragrances that I really love because of their apple-specific nature that are still available, that you can go out there and get. I don't like talking too much anyway about fragrances that are fantastic and you can't buy anywhere, because I want you guys to be able to enjoy them. I like when fragrances are available for you to buy and to wear and enjoy. Again, thanks for stopping by. As always, thank you so much for your continued support on my channel. I hope you and your family have a fantastic day today. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video review.